The 9 best scientific references in the Big Bang Theory. Hello everyone, my name is Text Spoken by Tara G. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like up. The Big Bang Theory references countless theories and scientific facts throughout the seasons. Let's take a look at the most intriguing, iconic ones. Remaining a memorable TV show for geeks and nerds over the years, the Big Bang Theory episodes are actually full of scientific topics. From famous scientists like Newton and Tesla to more niche topics in physics, such as quantum mechanics, the Big Bang Theory references countless theories and scientific facts throughout the seasons while cracking up the audience. Let's take a look at the most intriguing and iconic ones. When Penny experiences an intense breakup and questions her romantic history, Leonard asks her out on a date, suggesting he would be a better choice for her. Although Penny accepts his offer, she worries about messing up their friendship. After not so willingly listening to Penny's social crisis, Sheldon decides to wrap up the situation with the famous scientific thought experiment, the Schrodinger's cat. When Leonard eventually kisses Penny, she says, "All right, the cat's alive. Let's go to dinner." The analogy perfectly fits the context and becomes a recurring reference throughout the show, with Sheldon's familiar approach turning a social situation into a scientific one, and Penny's dramatic crisis combined. Schrodinger's cat marks an iconic scientific reference from TBDT. In one of the coziest Christmas episodes, Leonard and Penny decorates the tree while sharing their very different childhood memories. Although Sheldon isn't a fan of holidays, he offers his precious Newton bust as a tree ornament to join them. When Penny and Leonard, not so surprisingly, can't relate to him, Sheldon references the infamous historical conflict between Newton and Leibniz, assuming Leonard favors Leibniz as the inventor of calculus to go up in the tree. With Leonard's reaction and Penny's constant oblivion to the discussion, this opener represents an excellent combination of Sheldon's extreme intellectual sensitivity and the show's comedic and informative tone in general. When Penny invites the boys to her Halloween party, the gang accepts Penny's offer, all hyped up, since dressing up as their favorite characters is their passion. After the unfortunate coincidence where they all dress up as Flash, Sheldon decides to show up with a striped costume, referencing a well-known scientific phenomenon. His sartorial choice, supposedly hinting at the Doppler effect, gets hilarious each minute as Sheldon tries to explain his costume to strangers at the party sequence. With his unnecessarily extended physics lecture and the annoying sound effect referencing the Doppler effect, Sheldon's social torture cracks up the audience every time, remaining worthy of a rewatch. After seeing how Leonard and Bernadette hit it off while talking about a science project, Penny decides to learn a little physics from Sheldon to surprise Leonard as a gesture. Sheldon, as much as he constantly derides Penny's intellectual capacity, accepts the offer as an opportunity to run a behavioral experiment on her. When Sheldon compares Penny to Coco, the famous sign language speaker gorilla, this insulting yet hilarious reference elevates the plot, as Sheldon takes the situation very seriously, writing down his observations as if she's an actual test subject. The episode peaks with Sheldon and Penny's contrasting yet dynamic relationship. Among many episodes that reference famous scientists and concepts, this episode remains special for celebrating Nikola Tesla's well-deserved success on 3 layers. First, the opener brilliantly introduces the conflict between Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. When the gang gets together for a documentary about their rivalry, the scene builds up intellectually and comedically. Penny asks, "Tesla is the one that invented the electric car," and defends herself after a wave of giggles, turns to Sheldon, "You don't have to be so smug about it. You know you went to see the movie because you thought it was about scary it guys." Sheldon's infidelity represents the second layer of the reference. As it turns out, he can accompany the group on a trip to see the Tesla coil, an electrical resonant transformer circuit, at the observatory because he went behind Leonard and Howard's back to work with the military on their former project. Finally, the episode title, The Tesla Recoil, makes a double reference: the recoil of Sheldon's infidelity and the famous Tesla coil itself. These layers altogether mark a perfect representation of the Big Bang Theory's comedic brilliance. When Sheldon gets stuck on a physics problem, why electrons behave as if they don't have mass when traveling on graphene sheet, he tries the most unlikely methods to get inspired. As he finally decides to work in a menial job to set his prefrontal cortex free, he self-assigns as a waitress at the Cheesecake Factory. Related: 8 amazing ways the Big Bang Theory's love of science inspired Reddit. The plot resolves intellectually and comedically with the mess he made with the plates. Sheldon concludes that electrons move to the graphene as a wave. As his ridiculous yet genius plan succeeds, the sequence peaks with Sheldon's climactic epiphany moment. The episode's plot references Albert Einstein, who worked in the Swiss patent office while achieving his best discoveries as a scientist. This subtle yet solid reference brilliantly complements the show's general tone, gaining science enthusiasts' hearts. When Sheldon plays around with his childhood journals, Penny naively asks why he still keeps them. Sheldon subsequently asks if she's familiar with the Higgs boson, also very naively. Then he justifies himself with Dr. Peter Higgs' 50 years late achievement, the postulation of the subatomic particle, the Higgs boson. As it turns out, Sheldon collects his journals just in case as an aspiring Nobel Prize winner himself, to hopefully get celebrated for his former ideas like Dr. Higgs did. This reference marks one of the many amusing and informative moments in The Big Bang Theory, with a moment of respect to one of the greatest achievements in physics and its creator. Sheldon, as much as he despises Leslie Winkle and considers her a subpar scientist, announces that he will no longer oppose Leonard's romantic choices by overlooking the fact that she believes loop quantum gravity better unites quantum mechanics with general relativity than the string theory. As Leonard doesn't stand by her side, Leslie freaks out. Related tin quotes that prove Leonard and Sheldon have the best Big Bang Theory relationship. Among many episodes where a social crisis turns into a scientific battleground, this intellectual conflict remains iconic because it perfectly symbolizes the hilarious nature of the show, with Sheldon's usual arrogance and Leslie's absurd plan to raise children with Leonard with the belief that the loop quantum gravity theory is superior. The show marks yet another nerd-friendly moment full of giggles. When Sheldon gets promoted as a junior professor, it turns out that he has to teach graduate students. As he opens a course to do so, Howard seems to be the only person to take it because he plans to get his doctorate. Since Sheldon hasn't been taking Howard seriously since day one, he decides to quiz Wolowitz with the question, what is the correct interpretation of quantum mechanics? Although Howard's not the one who makes a stand, he intends to surprise Sheldon with his instant genius. He shows that he's well aware of the fact that Sheldon believes in the many worlds interpretation that asserts that all possible outcomes of quantum measurements are realized in some universe. The scene brilliantly references a highly intriguing physics discussion, the many worlds interpretation in quantum mechanics, fueled by the never-ending and competitive dynamic between Sheldon and Howard. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Young Sheldon 24, and stay with us.